So our equation 1 is y plus x squared equals 8x. What variable are we replacing? Which one's isolated already? Y. We have y equals 2x, so we're going to replace the y because y is equal to 2x. So that's what we're going to replace. Do you remember this? Feel like I don't know if you're tired or this is blank stares or what's going on. Okay, are you already done? You don't feel like Christmas. What's the next step? Bring everything to the one side. Should we bring it all to the left or to the right? To the left, to the left. Because we want our x squared to be positive. So let's bring the 8x over. Everything you want is in the equation to the left. I should not sing. Especially with this voice. Okay, x squared. What's 2 minus 8? Minus 6x equals 0. Okay, what's our next step? Always the quadratic. Factor. I shouldn't say always. Yeah, pretty much always. Okay, factor. What can we factor out of this? An x, and we're left with x minus 6. So what's our solution for x? X equals positive 6 and 0. Hooray! Okay, now I need my y values. So we're going to sub x equals 0 and x equals 6. Which equation do you want to use? 1 or 2? Into 2. Okay, y equals 2 times x. So we have to do it for both x equals 0 and x equals 6. So what's y equals when 2 times 0 is 0. So that's the point 0, 0 is one intersection point. I always want to go like this. Okay? No? Yeah, I don't know. Just every time I see the origin, I feel like a little guy. Okay, 2 times 6 is 12. So this would be the point 6 and 12. And our last step is check. Now, theoretically, which equation should I use my check for? Like, yeah, the other one. We kind of already did like a check for the second equation, right? Because we substituted, that sounds weird, into the second equation there, and so, I don't know. Let's just use our first equation for our check. Y plus x squared equals 8x. So we need to do for each coordinate. So the first one, 0 plus 0 squared, does that equal 8 times 0? 0 equals 0. Good. And then does 12 plus 6 squared equals 8 times 6? What's 6 squared? 36. What's 36 plus 12? 48. Is 8 times 6 equal to 48? Bingo. Done. All right. That means we get to turn the page. Are you ready to try one on your own? I think so. Okay. Let's do it for consistency's sake. Our first, who do we want to rearrange for? Y in which equation? First, yeah, that would be the easiest. So let's do that for consistency. Let's rearrange this equation. What is it? Y equals 2x minus 7. Okay, so sub 1 into 2. And then you guys do the rest. I just wanted us to be on the same. Same track. Same route. I'll pause this. Okay. Okay, so check your answer. Because we have x minus 7 times x minus 7, there's only one solution. It's just x equals 7. It's the same. We wouldn't do it twice. And then you sub that into either equation. The easiest I found is the first. And we have it already rearranged. So I'm going to use my rearranged one because it's even easier. That's what I did. And then I just did a check with the other. Okay. Not so bad. We have to actually cover elimination. How are we doing for time? Let's, should we skip the example 3 and go on to elimination? Okay, maybe if we have time tomorrow, we might come back to this one. Okay. How long is elimination? 1, 2. Okay, let's just try this one really quickly. A farmer has 14 meters of fencing to build 2 sides of a rectangular pen. The other 2 sides are the corner of a walled garden. So here's the walled garden. And my fence is this part here. Just those 2 sides. Okay. The area of the pen is 24 meters squared, and the length of one side is x meters. Okay, so what's the equation? Okay, so first of all, are these going to be, is it a square? They don't tell us it's a square. It's a rectangular pen. It's x meters. Let's just use length and width, okay? So length and width. So what's my 14 meters equal to? Length plus width. Good. Our perimeter, which is just a length plus a width. What's the area equal to? Area is how much? 24, and area is going to be LW. Good. So which one should we rearrange? Equation 1 or equation 2? 1. Which variable do you want to rearrange for? Length? Sure. Length is equal to 14 minus W. Would you agree? Good. Okay. So subbing that into equation 2, equation 2 is 24 equals length times W. Which variable are we replacing? Now, because we have L equals, we're going to replace the L. 20, it's an easy one, hey? So I think so. Maybe not. I don't know. I think this one's easy. Once you get the formulas, it's easy. Coming up with the formulas is usually the tough part. Okay, what do you have to do to solve this guy? Expand, yeah. So 24 equals 14w minus w squared. Now it's a quadratic, so everything has to go to one side. Left side or right side? Left, so that w becomes positive. W squared becomes positive. So w squared minus 14w plus 24 equals 0. Does that factor? What are our factors? 12 and 2. So that means our width is either 2 or our width is 12. So if my width is 2, what's my length? Well, let's use 14 minus w would be how much? 12. If the width was 12, the length would be 14 minus 12, or is that not just the same thing? Yeah, so there's actually just one solution, because which one's the smaller side? Our width, right? So therefore the width is 2 meters, and length is, that's supposed to be m, is 12 meters. Easy? Okay, now that wasn't so bad. We did that in like 2 minutes. Turn the page. Yay! When you're done that, turn the page. Okay, elimination. While you're sitting there, you can read through all those steps. I'll just walk you through it probably, but okay. So elimination. The easiest way is to isolate y in both equations. Sometimes you might want to get just one side equals 0 so that everything is aligned. We just basically want to align our variables. Do you remember using elimination before? So like in grade 10, it looked like 2x plus 3y equals 12, 5x plus 7y equals 10. Do you remember that? Before you add, and in order to add or subtract, what did we need? One of the variables had to be the same coefficient. Right? That key is that align. If you have to use 0 as a placeholder, oh, I have the best video to show you. Oh, it's so good. It's all about 0 being just a placeholder. Just a placeholder. Oh, anyways, okay. Oh, I can't wait to show you. Okay, subtract the coefficients in the two equations. We want to eliminate the y. That's our goal. Then solve the new equation for x. So we're going to have to probably factor and all that good stuff. And then we use our substitution stuff from there on. So blah, blah, blah. Lots of right. Like sometimes the steps, they can be helpful written out, but let's just do it. It's the easiest way to do it. So we want to start with aligning. And this is not aligned, our two equations, right? What do we want to do? Okay, let's get y on one side and everything else on the other. Is the first equation okay? Yeah, the second equation, I want y equals. So if I add y to the other side and add 3 to the other side, do you know what I'm talking about? We're moving the y and the 3, the negative 3. We get y equals 3x plus 3. Okay, so now I have my two equations, so let's align them. Okay, so equation 1, now we have y equals, I have a negative 2x squared. Do I have any x's? The other equation has an x, a 3x. So we need to use a placeholder. How many x's do we have? 0 x's. And then we have plus 8. Okay. So the second equation, y equals, do we have an x squared in this one? No, so we're going to use a placeholder of 0x squared plus 3x plus 3. So far, so good? Okay, so we want to eliminate y. How am I going to eliminate y? Subtract. Now, some of you and your subtraction skills suck. I'm just going to say it, okay? Sorry. It's a little blunt. Sometimes tough love is what you need. So, instead of subtracting, what can you do instead of subtracting? Add by switching the sides. So, let's add by switching my sides. So, I'm going to make this a negative y, a negative 0x squared, a minus 3x, and a minus 3. Do I need to zoom in? Can you see that at the back? Oh, let's go bigger. Go big or go home, they say, hey? Let's go big. Okay, so now we can add y plus negative y. That was kind of mean. I'm sorry, guys. I feel bad now. Okay, y plus negative y, what happens? Cancel, so we're left with 0. 0 equals, what's negative 2x squared plus 0? Plus negative 0, which is still 0. So negative 2x squared. What is 0 plus negative 3? Negative 3x, good. And 8 plus negative 3, 5. Okay, how are we going to solve this? Factor. So first, before factoring, take out a negative. So we're essentially, the other thing you could do, which is essentially the same thing, is move everything to the other side so that our x squared is positive. It's the same thing. Okay, don't you love factoring these complex type 2 trinomials? So much fun. Okay, 2 and 1 and 1 and 5. Or maybe 5 and 1. What do you think we should try? Let's try 5 and 1. So that makes 2, and that makes 5. Can we make 3 out of that? Okay, which one has to be negative? Negative 1, so that we get negative 2 here. And that will multiply to the negative 5. Good. So that means our factored form is, there's a negative outside still, negative times 2x plus 5 times x minus 1. Therefore, x equals negative 5 over 2, or x equals 1. Uh-oh, you can't see that. That's better. Okay, so from there, is it any different from now, our steps from before? No, everything's the same now, so we're going to sub those into either equation. I would think the easiest one would be the second. Yeah? Okay, so subbing those into equation 2. So for x equals negative 5 over 2, is everything okay? You got the same thing? Okay, just making sure, because sometimes when you're chattering, it's like, she's doing it wrong. She's doing it wrong. Yeah. You know? Okay, negative 15 over 2 plus 3 is negative 15 plus 6. So negative 15 plus 6 is negative 9 over 2. So the point is negative 5 over 2, comma negative 9 over 2. And when x equals 1, y equals 3 times 1 plus 3. That one's nice and easy. 6. Oh, I'm running out of room for our check. Okay, let's not check. Is that okay? You know how to do a check, right? Everyone knows how to do a check? If you don't follow my advice, my example, though, on your test, check. Show your check, because you get marks for that. I'm being a bad teacher. Santa's giving me coal for Christmas. All right, elimination, one more. Okay, what's wrong with the second? The first. I'm dying. What's wrong with the first equation? We've got to do what? FOIL. Did anyone ever show you binomial man?
Yeah.
Did I show you that? Okay, good. Okay.
No, show us.
Right? You have to multiply these two. You got to multiply these two. You got to multiply those and those. Right? Okay. So we need to FOIL. When do you FOIL x minus 2 squared? It's perfect square, which gives us y equals x squared. What's the middle term going to be? Multiply the two together and double it. X times negative 2. So negative 2x doubled, negative 4x. And then our last term, negative 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 4 would give us 8. Right? So I just added the extra 4. What do we have to do with equation 2? Y by itself. So y equals negative 2x plus 7. Are you okay if we add in the 0x squared right now? Why not? Did you do that or should you rewrite it? I don't know. Okay, so instead of subtracting, let's do what? Addition by between the sides. So negative y, well, there's no negative 0, same thing as positive 0, but sure. The negative 2x becomes plus 2x, and the plus 7 becomes minus 7. Okay, so y minus y, y plus negative y, gone, 0. Who's talking about? Should I kick them out?
Yes, yes.
You want to see me be mean? You've seen it many times. Okay, 1 plus negative 0. Still 1. Agreed? Okay, good. Negative 4 plus 2. Negative 2x. And 8 plus negative 7. 1. Is that factorable? Thank goodness. Otherwise, guess what we'd have to use? Quadratic formula. Quadratic formula. Okay. What is it factor to? Minus 1 and minus 1. I love when that happens. Why? Only one solution. Booyah. X equals 1. So we sub it into either equation. So I'm going to sub it into 2. Two times 1 plus y equals 7. What does y equal? 2 plus what is 7? 2 plus what is 7? 5. You subtract 2. Same thing. Okay, and checking this one. It'll be easy. Let's just use the first equation because we just subbed into 2. So we're going to check with 1. 5 has to equal to 1 minus 2 squared plus 4. Yep. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. Plus 4 is 5. Bingo! There's our answer. All right. Okay, the last one. Maybe I'll get you to try for the the daily quiz tomorrow morning. Okay? Or you can give it a try tomorrow. I'll leave it for that for today. I'll leave it here. I knew you'd say yes. All right. Good job, guys.